this video, I'm going to teach you the 5 key principles required to get money, namely budget, contentment, compounding, debt, save. That's BCCDS, or bad kids. Like an old person with a stutter with noisy neighbors complaining about the bad kids next door. That's budget, contentment, compounding, debt, save. Let's get to it. When it comes to budgeting, it's quite simple. Spend less than you earn. It's that simple. Take what you earn and give away 10%. Personally, I tithe to the church, but you can give to a charity of your choice. Next, have a target savings figure. It could be another 10% of your income or a set figure, whatever you like. And then the rest of what you spend each month must fall into what's left over. So that's the budget formula. Get paid, give some away, save some for yourself, and live on what's left. The next key to budgeting is what I call when in Paris, just say no. I went to Paris once with a partner of mine and divided up our spending money into a daily budget. Now we had just had a nice day in Paris, had a nice meal for lunch, done nice activities, but when it came to dinner time, we could only afford a modest meal with what was left of the daily budget, not something at a restaurant. My partner at the time got very upset. She said, "But we're in Paris." But to me, a budget is sacred. It's the shield that you have against poverty. Yes, we were in a special place, but it's not like we didn't do special things already that day. And having a special meal that evening would be robbing from the next day's budget. The point is, you have to draw the line somewhere and say I or we just can't afford it. Now, Paris moments happen all the time, like when you walk into a store and there's a 50% sale on stuff that you were never going to buy, or it's 2 for 1 once again on more crap that you're never going to use. The basic rule of thumb is this: if you didn't plan on buying it before you went into the store, you probably shouldn't be buying it, no matter how special the occasion or the price is. When in Paris, just say no. To grow your wealth, it's important to learn to be content, to find a standard of living that you're happy with, and as you earn more money, don't increase your standard of living, but rather save the extra money that you earn. If you can't learn to be content, you will never be rich, because you will never have enough. As soon as you earn more money, you need to upgrade everything. You're only satisfied with more. A part of being happy is learning to want what you already have. I heard an interview once with a famous rock star who had everything. All the money, girls, sex, drugs, and rock and roll you can imagine. And the thing he learned in rehab is to want what you have. You don't have to go to rehab to learn the lesson. If what you want is more, you will never have enough. But if you can learn to be content, you suddenly become the richest person in the world. Compounding is a many-headed monster, and the obvious example is with money, and I made a whole video on that. But another example is how our choices have a compounding effect. Say, for example, you decide to change what you study 4 times because you didn't like the course after you started it. Well, in 4 years, all you would have is 4 first years, while someone who persevered through what they didn't like will have a degree that they can use. Or say you get a degree, and then go work in a field where you don't use your degree. What was the point of all of that studying? While the person who works in the field of what they studied has a chance of earning more than someone who doesn't. Now say you decide to change your career a few times because you're not happy. While you may eventually be happy, you'll be stuck on an entry-level salary, but those who persevere will earn more because of their experience. You get the idea. The rewards go to those who persevere. Now that's not always easy. There have been times in my life when I knew I should have persevered, but I just couldn't. And unfortunately I had to walk in circles for a bit, until I faced the same problem again. And this time I had to choose to persevere rather than run away. At least I was wise to the fact that I was walking in a circle and needed to make a different choice at the end of it. The problem comes when you can't face up to the fact that you keep making the same mistakes again and again and are just walking in circles. The rewards of compounding go to those that face their flaws and persevere. Don't have any debt, not even a mortgage. Debt is a noose around your neck that stops you from chasing your dreams and achieving your goals. If you have debt, your first priority should be to create an emergency fund, say 1 month's living expenses, and after that, just get out of debt. I have a rule: I don't leave the house with my credit card. If I can't afford to pay for something with cash or my debit card, I just can't afford it. On the whole not having a mortgage thing, there's an argument that you're just throwing your money away on rent. Well, here's my take. A mortgage takes all your cash with a deposit or down payment, money that you could use to invest in the stock market. Any money that you put into your primary residence ends up being dead money. What I mean is that when you sell that property, all the money is going to go into the next property, which leads to the next point. Your primary residence is not an income generating asset. If you get a mortgage on another property to rent out, fine. That's spitting out cash and an income stream that hopefully you can live off one day. Another thing is that the property that you can afford to rent is often nicer than the property that you can afford to buy with a mortgage. The only time it makes sense to buy a property is if you have children, and then you want more certainty. Otherwise, rent and invest your savings. When it comes to saving, it's important to build a go-to-hell fund. What this is a reserve that you have for when life goes to hell and unforeseen circumstances or disaster hits. Or you need to tell people to go to hell. That could be a boss that drives you nuts, unhealthy working conditions, or a relationship that you need to get out of. If you have money in reserve, you can just walk away and tell whatever it is to go to hell. I heard an interview with Bill Gates once where he said that he tried to have 1 year's worth of payroll in the bank when he ran Microsoft. I think that is a good yardstick to aim to have 1 year's worth of living expenses in cash in the bank. That gives you flexibility to make decisions. It might take time to save that much money, but it's definitely worth having. The other important thing when it comes to saving is the lesson of Job. It's quite simply this: when times are good, save your money, because bad times are coming. Make no mistake, it's not if, but, or maybe. Bad times are coming, so make sure you're ready for them. In the Bible, Job's advice to Pharaoh was to save so that they were ready for the bad years. So the lesson is, save your money, kids, because you're gonna need it. The bad times are coming. But what that also means is, when the good times come again, you'll be able to rise to the next level. Because the bad times wiped everybody else out while you were able to endure. Now, if you do all of that, you might have the happy problem of having extra money that you need to invest. If that's the case, you can sign up for my investing course at getrichslow.net, and I can teach you what I have learned about value investing. It's not the easy road or quick riches, but as I've discovered in life, what looks like the long road is actually the short road, and what looks like the short road is no road at all. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.